Sacramento Antifa teacher indoctrinating students in Marxism and Communism receives 3 years of pay to resign. Violates school policy. Everybody knows it. Everybody agrees. Yet the school board did the whole union deal. Well, we're going to have to let you go, but out the back door, here's 3 years of pay for violating school policy, for teaching our kids Marxism, socialism, and just basically doing your Antifa thing, which is just insane. That's what we're talking about today. Pictures of the Antifa flag and Mao Zedong on his classroom walls. The teacher worked to turn students into revolutionaries. How is this happening? How is this going on in our schools? And administration, it takes this long to figure out, okay, I've got to do something. This is going on literally right underneath our noses, right? So for 3 years, Natomas Unified School District in Sacramento permitted an avowed socialist, a member of the local Antifa chapter, to reach AP American government to teach AP American government at Inderkum High School. I took AP history, took AP government, and we didn't really talk about Antifa. Was Antifa even around then? How long has Antifa been around? I don't know, but it's just such an ideology that makes zero sense to me. The socialist utopia. I mean, it's right around the corner. We're almost there. I mean, Portland is almost there. Portland's got the best Antifa out there, Rose City Antifa, right? I mean, it's just looking good. It's looking solid. I mean, utopia is any day now, any minute now, it's going to turn into a utopia. We all know how that goes, right? It's not a utopia. Socialism doesn't work. Marxism doesn't work. And yet we're still going down that road and teaching it at school. And then when it blows up, we got to pay him 3 years worth of the teacher's salary. What a bunch of nonsense. Last September, the Globe reported on teacher Gabriel Gipe, whatever his name is, Antifa boy, we'll call him Antifa boy from here on out, who proudly admitted to politically indoctrinating his students in Marxism and Communism in undercover Project Veritas videos. Just gets better, doesn't it? And KCRA, local news, now reports Antifa boy has received 3 years' pay in exchange for his resignation after he was secretly recorded by a conservative activist group professing his allegiance to Antifa, which in turn led the school districts to find clear violations of political activity inside his classroom. The Natomas School District agreed to pay Antifa boy $190,000 in exchange for his resignation from the high school. What were the clear violations of political activity inside his classroom? What were they? That's a legit question for me as well. Antifa boy said that his intention was to radicalize students into supporting Marxist ideas by using the public school system as an avenue to incentivize them to participate in fringe extracurricular events. Project Veritas reported, I have 180 days to turn them into revolutionaries. Scare the f*** out of them, Antifa boy said. Now, I don't usually use the F-bomb, as you well know, but in this case, when Antifa boy is saying, scare the f*** out of them. All right, this is a teacher teaching impressionable, I'm figuring 17 and 18-year-olds. Yeah. And then we're going to turn around and fire him, but pay him 3 years of salary so he can go off and start his own revolution? Attorney Timothy Snowball, who attended the September 2021 school board meeting, explained in a Globe article, on tape, Antifa boy brags that he has 180 days to turn his students into revolutionaries. In addition to hanging an Antifa flag and picture of the brutal communist dictator Mao Zedong on his classroom walls, Antifa boy assigns his students extra credit for attending radical leftist protests. See, I mean, if you wonder how we get with a bunch of people showing up at Antifa events, supporting Antifa. You know, they've got a summer school down in Portland where you can have your children turn into radical revolutionaries as well. I mean, teach them young, right? Yeah, that's what we got going on here. Antifa Boy also requires his students to take an ideological test, which he uses to plot their positions on a chart hung on the classroom wall, and then publicly shames those he deems too right-wing. This just shouldn't be going on in schools, but it is. You know, it's insane. Teaching your kids at age 5 to age 8 about sexuality and sexual orientation, also unnecessary. Teaching them Antifa? I mean, what if I went in there and just started teaching, you know, a real conservative Christianity? How do you think that'd go over? Probably not all that well, right? I would just be run out of the school. But you got Antifa Boy here. They've been doing it a while. At the conclusion of the tape, Antifa Boy laments that Americans have not taken up arms in order to violently overthrow the government and institute a socialist utopia. Have there been any socialist utopias? Don't they end up turning into just utter shit shows? I think they do. If history, you know, comes to me at all, I don't think we've ever had a socialist utopia. They just turn into these utter just train wrecks, right? I mean, you don't even have to go that far to figure that out. You just don't. And if you've been around anybody from Antifa, yeah, they're not dealing with a full deck of cards. They're just not dealing with a full deck of cards. They might think they are, but they've just got this stuff in their head that makes no sense at all. And you hear their little chants and you're like, you are mentally not all that stable. You're not really working with logic here. Because even their arguments as they're walking down the street, you know, with their silly umbrellas and all dressed in black because they don't want anybody to catch them, because they can get away if they're all dressed in black, because half the time they're at night doing stuff they shouldn't be doing. So the Globe was told that Antifa Boy was terminated by the school district ahead of the intense Natomas Unified School Board meeting, where parents showed up in droves, shocking, demanding justice for their children, demanding the teacher be fired, and even demanding criminal prosecution. Well, was there criminal activity here? I don't know. I am not an attorney, but it would strike me as probably not, but probably a clear violation of school policy. Probably a very clear violation of his contract with the school, right? I mean, and the teachers union, how do they get 3 years out of it? All right, we're going to make this go away quietly, give you 3 years. You shut up and you go away and go do your revolutionary stuff somewhere else, and we'll all be good. Natomas Superintendent Chris Evans told the Globe, not only is it against school policy and board policy, but he broke the sacred trust between school and parents. We fired him well before the meeting. And then we paid him 3 years of salary because that's how it goes with the teacher union, right? Now we know he was not terminated, but resigned 4 months later when he made the deal with the school district. They paid this teacher who acutely violated school district policies to quit, which indicates heavy-handed teachers' union influence. Okay, I understand the machinery. Sometimes it goes bad, sometimes it goes good, but a lot of times these unions, boy, I don't know. This guy should have just been fired. Antifa Boy should have been fired on the spot. No pay, no nothing. You're out of here, Jack. Boom, you're gone. I mean, I wish to say that they could have, done something against him, but that's just not how it works in 2022, right? Videos of furious parents at the Natomas School Board meeting is available. Before the board took a recess during the meeting, came back, took another recess, and then disappeared out the back door. Literally disappeared out the back door before the meeting ended, according to several parents. Classic. All right, guys, we're in trouble here. Things could get a little hairy. This could really go sideways on us. All right. You guys cut down the middle and hang a lefty. We're going to cut down the middle just a little behind you, and we're going to hang a righty. We'll meet up at Denny's afterwards. That's literally what the school board probably did. Or they're like, you know what? Center, cut left, center, cut right. You guys all go to your homes and lock the doors because this isn't going to go well. We got some pissed off parents here. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them. Imagine if you're a conservative parent and you're, hey, Sam, son Sam, what are they teaching you that AP class? Well, you know how mom and dad you guys are kind of conservative. Well, I was telling them about that. You know, I put my name up on a chart and I was way off on the right, and then they made fun of me. And yeah, they're talking about revolutionary and they're talking about socialism, and that had to have come up with parents, right? It had to have come. I wasn't the most involved parent with my kids' actual curriculum when my kids were in high school. I was more like, okay, what's going on at school? Why am I being called into the principal's office or the vice principal's office? This isn't good. What do we got going on? Every now and then we'd have like a little meeting with a detective somewhere or just kid stuff, and my kids, they made it through school. My oldest son was a great student. My youngest son, he enjoyed himself. High school was a time of celebration for my youngest son. And so I wasn't, Johnny on the top of their classes. My ex-wife probably was more on that. But, I think that I would know if one of my kids was being taught this stuff. I think they would probably I think even back then, they probably would have brought it up. They certainly would now because, we make a lot of fun of Antifa because there's a lot of things that are easily ridiculed about the whole, Antifa concept. But this guy, Antifa boy, getting 3 years worth of pay. That's just not right. That is not, should be fired on the spot, 1,000 lashes with a wet noodle, that kind of thing. I don't know. Yeah, I find this shocking. But don't you think that some of the parents at some point, and maybe they were bringing this up to the school board consistently. And that's why the school board is like, yeah, we're going to exit stage left and shh, don't tell anybody. We're out of here. How do you think that next meeting went? Hey, where'd you guys escape to? What happened? You guys went out the back door? Are you just a bunch of chickens? What is wrong with you? Probably had some parents who were pissed off and that's what they were up to, right? I mean, it's a wild story, but it's not all that uncommon. That's what's unfortunate. You hear about this kind of stuff, especially on the West Coast, where it seems that, this kind of stuff is it seems okay. And everybody's like, it's a little Antifa action. So we've literally gone from Antifa as a myth to knowing that it's being taught in our schools. We know it's been taught in our schools. Portland's got a little rosebud, whatever, development program for Antifa as well. It's going on. People know it. It's there. Antifa can't hide anymore. How many videos have I done about them? Quite a few. Yeah. So video of furious parents. I need to find that video and watch it. Video of furious parents at the Natomas School Board meeting is available. Let's take a look at that. I'm going to look for that and I will get back to you on that. So, and that's something to look forward to, right? Imagine you got this school board. Hey, where'd they go? Well, the weenies left and went out the back. They left because they knew you were pissed that you got some jackass teacher teaching your kids about revolutionary socialism, Marxism, socialist utopia, which doesn't exist. All right. That's it for me on this one. Thanks so much for being here. We'll catch up soon. Talk then. Bye for now.